What is going on, crypto fiends? Thank you as always for tuning into the channel. I wanted to come at you guys with a quick video today to briefly discuss a couple topics, as well as give you guys a little life update on my end and why I haven't been posting as much as of recently. So I guess I should get that out of the way first. I have started doing a handful of videography work in the area which I live, and that has really started to take up a good chunk of my time. But aside from that, I also kind of wanted to just take a step away from YouTube and just take a breather and kind of figure out what I wanted to do with the channel, how I wanted to do things differently moving forward, and really just figure out a way to change it up. I feel like our past methods of creating content on the channel are phenomenal, and I will likely continue to do a handful of those styles in the future, but I also want to try something new to of course provide you guys with great content, but also reach a larger audience. Because as we know, yes, crypto is doing pretty hot the last 2 weeks, but it has been a pretty rough climate for the last year in the cryptocurrency industry. And unfortunately, for obvious reasons, cryptocurrency and content isn't the most looked at content at the moment. Now, I've never really been big into the views and all that jazz. Like, yes, of course, I want people to watch my stuff, but that hasn't been the sole purpose of me making content. I've really enjoyed making videos for the past 5 years now. 5 flippin' years here on YouTube. But it got a little stale. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bored of it. I really was struggling to figure out what I wanted to do to change things up so that I am enjoying it, and of course you guys are enjoying it as well. So moving forward, I am going to try a couple different things. I am thinking of branching out from not just solely talking about cryptocurrency related topics, but also touching on geopolitical news, touching on news in other financial sectors, and pretty much everything finance, economics, and global geopolitics, because at the end of the day, all of that stuff drastically affects the cryptocurrency space. So I would love to know your guys' thoughts on what sort of content you would really like to see here on the channel. Only crypto? Would you like to see more like some of the stuff I just mentioned, or feel free to mention something I didn't just mention, preferably not like anything like completely off topic, like gaming or anything like that. But yeah, this is a community, so I would love to have some conversations down below and get some feedback from you guys. Now, aside from that, I do want to just briefly touch on what's going on in the space right now. I plan to do a deeper dive video into these topics, but I am currently on my way to a video shoot. I've been filming for a TV show called American Dream TV, where we highlight business owners and entrepreneurs in the surround all over the country, but specifically for me, I am doing these episodes in the surrounding area of Tampa Bay, Florida. But aside from that, some stuff that's been going on in the space, unless you've been living under a rock or you just don't care about your money, I'm sure you saw that SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, just actually today filed for bankruptcy, but they essentially completely collapsed, and it caused a lot of ripples in the banking industry. It scared a lot of people. A lot of people are completely pulling out from a handful of banks, especially their stocks, their shares, but it's caused a big ripple effect all the way up to the Treasury Department, and looks like the Treasury Department is bailing out SVB, so that is good when it comes to everyone that had assets in that bank. And I understand completely that a lot of people, I was a kid at the time, obviously, but I was 9 years old. But back in 2008, 2009, when the government bailed out a bunch of banks, a lot of people weren't too thrilled about that, because aside from those banks being bailed out, there's a lot of, small businesses struggling, a lot of people struggling, and due to the negligence of themselves, all these banks pretty much collapsed, and the government was there to prop them back up. Now, 2008, 2009 was a perfect example of how fragile our financial system is. And since then, we've just been continuing to prop it up with money that we've been printing. I mean, it's so crazy to see how much debt the United States currently has. And, $1 trillion back then was an insane amount of money, but we're printing trillions and trillions every year now. And unfortunately, there's no real logical way to slow that down unless you want the whole system to collapse. Now, obviously, that means the dollar for us is going to become less and less valuable, whether you visually see it or not. I'm sure a lot of you guys are experiencing that at the grocery store, or when you're paying for your Netflix subscription, whatever it is, you notice that everything is beginning to cost much more. And I feel like also a lot of people are just kind of eventually going to get comfortable with these prices, and they may never go back down. I think it's a long shot for most things to go back down to previous levels before 2020. Aside from that, I do think it's probably in the best interest, at least as of now, that the Treasury Department is bailing out SVB, because they do have an insane amount of businesses. They were holding an insane amount of money for a variety of businesses, hundreds and hundreds of businesses. The big thing, specifically crypto related, is that SVB was like the bank for crypto related businesses. As you guys know, the majority of banks have really gotten stringent on their relationship with crypto related businesses, or just their your average user. I mean, Chase Bank gives me an issue every single time I want to buy crypto through crypto.com. Bank of America is the same. Bank of America a year ago, I don't know if it's changed, wouldn't let my uncle buy crypto through his account. That's fucking insanity. How are you not going to let someone buy something through their account? I get it if it was drugs or firearms, illegal firearms or something like that, but it's like, come on, it's crypto. You're buying it through a regulated exchange. Let me use my money. So of course he closed his account and went elsewhere. But that's the sort of stuff we're dealing with. Even a year ago, I went to open up a business account with Chase for Crypto Fiend, and they told me I wasn't allowed to because crypto was in the name of my business. It's those little things that are absolutely ridiculous, and it's so obvious over the past couple of months that the government is clearly trying to strangle crypto to the best of their ability. And I think this whole issue with SVB is a perfect example of that. SVB, again, was pretty much the largest bank for crypto related businesses. I know a variety of businesses that had funds in there. Coinbase had some funds in there, I believe a little over $300 million. BlockFi had some funds in there. So if it wasn't for the Treasury bailing them out, all of those businesses would be screwed. And again, I'm not necessarily saying this is the right move to make, but in the current circumstances, if they didn't get bailed out, the crypto industry would really get rattled. And it's quite interesting because right now, as you can see with the price of Bitcoin touching over $27,000 today, we're seeing quite the opposite. Bitcoin has been booming since this bank collapsed. and we also are seeing some issues with other banks right now. So it's always kind of been that way in the crypto space. I feel like it's always counterintuitive. It's always the complete opposite of what you expect to happen with cryptocurrency. You think crypto is going to do one thing and it does the complete opposite. So it's really, really hard to say where the markets are headed right now, because let's be real, guys, stock market's still in the shitter. Mortgage rates are still at fucking 7-8%. Insanity. Everything going on in the world right now geopolitically with obviously Ukraine, Russia, China, the United States, etc. Everything is like pretty much the worst it's ever been. But of course, us crypto degens or whoever's buying up this Bitcoin, Bitcoin's on the move along with a handful of other cryptocurrencies. So all I would say is just have a plan. Be logical with your decision making when it comes to investing in crypto right now. Don't get me wrong. I want crypto to moon just as much as the next guy. But to go all in at this current moment, it's hard to say. At the end of the day, dollar cost averaging has always been the logical move to make when investing in anything, let alone just crypto. But yeah, that's kind of my view on things. There's a handful of other big things going on in the space right now, but I want to save those for future videos so I could dive deeper into those topics instead of just talking to you guys in the car. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. Again, I would love to know your thoughts down below on what specific content would you like to really start to see on the channel. Again, I'm really thinking about diving into geopolitics as well as other financial sectors, obviously touching deeper on, say, for example, this SVB collapse and all of that jazz. So thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll catch you in the next.